live. How are you doing? Thomas Smollett is my guest. Comic room.
Hello. We are live.
Yep.
We are live. It's just coming up on my end here. Thank you for inviting me to be on your channel. It's it's an honor to be here, and I especially if we're talking 5G, it's whether or not 5G actually occurs anymore now with the firing of Dan Didio, but we'll have to see. But glad to be here.
Yep. And my good friend.
Hey, I'm Rand, Gothic Churro.
Yep. And we're talking with DC 5G and Dan Didio firing. The two big topic came out actually this weekend. Oh, and my good friend is reborn.
Oh.
Yep.
Hey, Jay.
Right on time. Yep. So, tell me, where do you start?
Well, I mean, you can. Where do we start? I mean, I guess if you take the bull by the horns, I guess we're going to.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good topics you're doing, so it doesn't matter which one goes first.
Yep. What is the big stuff we're talking about? Dan Didio's departure. Okay, Dan Didio's departure. This is the thing I want to talk about for you because this man, look, Dan Didio is one of the guys who had one of our DC victory. Let's see, what have he done that pissed a lot of people off? Oh, I know. Countdown to Final Crisis, one of the worst main shit that came out that past decade. Garbage. It was literally the Final Crisis and that went nowhere. And then we got called New 52, which say what we're New 52. New 52 did give some people some stuff to like without giving them credit, but that crashed and burned. Then we got Futures End. Another weekly shit out of garbage. Who was shooting at Future End was garbage? Like, what the hell was that crap? 49 inches of Peter that made no sense. That Batman goes to Peter fight the Terminator.
Tevia, breathe, dude. Breathe. Breathe.
Yeah, like, Peter that made no sense. One of the worst weekly shit that came out Dan Didio's run. It was garbage. Also,
it's okay, Tevia. You just experienced what we call a Didio arrest.
Yeah.
The convulsions after reading something from co-published by Didio, but it's all right, man. You'll recover. Hey, he's gone. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
we're free.
Yeah, indeed. Future End one waste of time. Like always shooting, that.
The only one that actually enjoyed Futures End, I feel like I am because much of my theories actually came true.
Yeah, it didn't do that at the end. That's nothing happens. And then we got Convergence, which Convergence the one to get there, right? But Convergence with the tie-ins.
And tie-ins were pretty cool. You gotta admit that. They were pretty interesting. How would it have been like if, we didn't have New 52 come out. Yeah. We saw Nightwing and Oracle get married.
We saw Superman get my boy John, which I was for,
Yeah, and then we got to see Jason Todd B welcome back to the Bat family.
The guy got by this guy, but me got to get there and then one DJ Margot and sent the live action movie to Wednesday on Wednesday. Yeah, I gotta send that, but that's different talking another day.
Plus, that's an opinion that's irrelevant.
Yeah, that thing I'm doing, Dan.
Because it's important news to us because some of us have a love-hate relationship with that publisher.
Yeah.
Ever since he tried to kill Dick Grayson since Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, and then Final Crisis he brought Bavaria and got Wild West, and then after Future End we got Convergence, which I remember the Convergence was the time doing good thing. The main series was garbage, and after Convergence we got DCU, which DCU.
We don't talk about that. We don't ever talk about that.
Yeah.
Even though we did get a cool new Batman villain, Mr. Bloom, I thought that was an interesting character. I thought it was badass when Bruce Wayne came back.
Yeah.
His memories. That's the only thing. But most of all,
everything else was garbage. The only good that came out of DCU was Superman Goes and Clark series. And that was fantastic by Dan Jurgens.
Yeah, that was good.
But other than that, everything else was garbage. Oh yeah, just one. What's the opinion on all these areas I'm talking about? Like New 52, DCU, all the areas.
Well, a lot of it too, like I kind of got back into comic stuff. Like, cause for me, my main exposure was mostly like animation and like just more kind of like graphic novel trade paperbacks. So I wasn't necessarily like reading things as they went along for like New 52. Then when I heard Rebirth was coming out, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna kind of get back into like a lot of this stuff, because like I said, I'm into so many different franchises. I wasn't really keeping up with comics and that, so I kind of went back and really kind of just got a fresh start with Rebirth. So I mean, I've gone back and read some different things, like just like different stories that are well known, but like I wasn't necessarily reading like as the New 52 came out and all this other stuff, because I didn't really know where to start too. So I'm like, okay, Rebirth's a good starting point. I'll go back in and I'll look at other stuff. And you know, since then I've been keeping up with a lot of it, but now I've kind of just been pretty much post Justice League No Justice. I've been physically kind of drained with a lot of the stuff. Like obviously Bendis came in and just destroyed the Superman books entirely. I just gave up. I couldn't read it anymore. Like so many different things. Like there's some stuff that's good. Tomasi, of course, is always a talented writer for the most part. Like his Detective Comic stuff I'm liking. I'm liking what Tynion's doing with the Batman book right now. It's a huge improvement over the previous run. So I'm keeping up with a few things. But like I wasn't like at the start of Rebirth, I felt like I was reading like everything.
Rebirth gave me hope.
Right, it gave us the hope, and then obviously they took a lot of that away. Like I mean, obviously you had the Heroes in Crisis thing, which I didn't even bother to purchase. So I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Oh, my hair cut at the wall, that broke me. And I did make a brand new one, y'all. I hear the cut open, never get that into an anime movie. If that thing gets out of an anime movie, that would break me, because no,
it won't.
No. You can't put that anime. That would destroy me physically and mentally. Okay, it destroyed me mentally, but watching it in animation would destroy me literally.
I have a feeling Dark Knight's Metal will probably get a movie. I know they're doing Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, and then I think they're gonna because that's been a culmination of a lot of things. I'm pretty excited for that one because it's like literally everybody from the entire universe coming together. That better be a long movie though. It better not just be an hour and 15. It's got to be at least like 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Or 2 parts, basically. We're trying to split that. Because the story that they're trying to Dark Side War, but fused with Justice League Dark, which is weird. And, you know,
it's not really based on anything entirely. It's kind of like its own original thing, like taking inspiration, which I'm fine with because like I can always go back and look at the original source material. I'd rather have something a little bit different, not page for page. So,
yeah. And anyway, we got to when I'm talking, you know, I see after we got here in a credit with that burned, and then we got Doom the Clock fantastic. After Doom the Clock, nothing happened.
Right, where we're at now, we have Rick Grayson, everyone's favorite. At least Dan Jurgens is trying to salvage it.
I actually like the Rick Grayson stuff. It reminds me of Jason Bourne, and it reminds me of the stuff that Tom King did for Grayson.
Yeah, I
think it's just been going. It's been a year and a half since Dick Grayson has been like anything, like because it's been like it's going on way too long. It was like when I was reading the Red Hood Outlaw as it is now, like it took like over a year for like was it Artemis and them to come back to the book.
Yeah, Artemis Bizarre.
Right, and I'm like okay, like because the book just dipped so much in quality once they left because they had that great foundation there that made it more interesting. So I mean the stuff on my channel I basically just cover Teen Titans, and even then that book like you compare it to like which you know at the start of Rebirth it was decent, like it wasn't like amazing or anything like that, but it was a lot more lighthearted, but then it just took a really dark turn to like a teen Suicide Squad book.
Oh yeah, that pissed me off. Oh, coming from what's your opinion on Teen Titans and all the other stuff during Danny's era?
Yeah, not Teen Titans. I would agree. Teen Titans got really dark there for a while. I think they made the mistake of making Damian too dark, and they forget that Damian's primary appeal to the audience is that he's a narcissist. He's an adult narcissist in a 13-year-old body, and that's what kind of makes him funny. But they almost make him evil, like he's his Batman 666 self, and they forget that at heart he's still a 13-year-old kid, and you got to have fun with him. I will say this about Adam, the writer of Teen Titans.
Adam Glass. Yeah,
Adam Glass. He has gotten better, and it's gotten a little bit lighter. I think the last few issues have improved, and but I would agree that in the same manner that Rick Grayson went on way too long, it's a sign editorially that they've lost their way. They've embraced too much darkness.
Yeah.
And I think it's a general theme across the DC universe right now. And I think, quite frankly, it's what led to Dan Didio's, one of the factors that led to him getting fired, is that they said enough is enough. You know, let's have some tonality of maybe have some consistent tonalities, a little bit more rebirth, a little bit more consistency in terms of trying to capture some rebirth. And they're, you know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but there's too many. It's like DC is throwing crap at a wall and hoping something's going to stick.
Right.
They don't know what smells worse. I mean, or they're trying to, you know, like, what do you expect when you throw crap at a wall?
Not to mention there was that I'm glad Teen Titans. Another thing that got destroyed. My favorite family, the Superman family.
It didn't get destroyed, Tevia. It's still there. It's still in the comic book shelves.
Well, it's still there, yeah. But
I understand your pain. You know.
No, Super Sons got destroyed. That book got destroyed.
That broke me. Right, I got Super Sons for Bendis. Bendis destroying everything, and that broke me.
Here's the thing, though. What did I tell you? What did I tell you was gonna happen if you got what you wanted?
It would all fall apart to pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I warned every single DC fan. You keep begging for something, you'll get it, but it's gonna get bad pretty quick.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of one thing that stayed consistent since the start of Rebirth, because a lot of the books that I thought were pretty good, like Green Arrow, got canceled too. So I'm just like, what stayed good consistently?
Teen Titans was good before we got to Grayson, we got to Wally, we got to Onimus. Well, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal died. Wally got turned the middle for bullshit reasons. Dick ran a shot in the head. And then that team fell apart.
Right.
Super Sons got destroyed because Bendis, that broke me.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to get into some of the rumors that they were going to do with it.
Yeah, we'll get to that too.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Who would be perfect to take over Dan's spot? I think, from what Jay said in his video, Paul Dini.
Paul Dini would be perfect. Or even Jeff Johns if he came back to do it.
Yeah, but Jeff Johns not going to do it. He's going to be like, it's too much. I mean,
so Paul Dini would be my choice.
Yeah, I agree. They need to keep out show what story, but you need a balance.
Right.
Having Darknet all that doesn't work. There's an animated volume of Superstar by every single one of keep them on. Yeah, I agree. I would love a 10 animated of Superstar with all 10 volumes. Actually, I got better idea. Make a Superstar animated series. DC. That'll be Super MSC, damn it. I'm waiting.
Well, you'll kind of get a bit of a Super Sons thing, I guess. But it'll be I think it's just going to be like Damian. It's going to be Connor Kent in the new movie, which, I'm, like I said, some people don't always like when they change certain things for anime. I'm like, you know what? Since it's kind of its own universe, I kind of like to see how things are done a bit differently. It's just kind of a what if experiment. Some things actually kind of worked for their animated movie universe that they did. And then other things don't, obviously, like Batman Hush changes did not work at all. I like some of the stuff.
That's disappointing.
I actually like some of the stuff they did in the Teen Titans movies, though. They had a cool connection with Raven and Damian. That was pretty good. That actually was surprisingly well received. So, I guess they'll follow up on the next movie. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but I think you could get some good comedic potential out of that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, there's some good stuff there, but man, a lot of it just kind of fell off the wayside.
I think it's worth pointing out too that if the rumors are to be believed, that they want to focus and hire more writers outside the traditional wheelhouse that DC normally gets its writers from. They want to hire people that have experience in TV writing and screenplays and in animation. And it would make sense in that respect, maybe getting somebody like Paul Dini, like you suggested, or somebody else, particularly since AT&T now, which owns DC Comics, owns Warner Brothers. They're clearly looking. They have a different corporate mindset, and they've got their own ideas in terms of how to move forward. And let's face it. I mean, Dan Didio, he was there for 18 years, and they didn't seem to blink an eye to surprise him on Friday morning, saying, "Guess what? You're out of here."
Right. I just remember I was driving home. I looked at like, you know, I stopped for a second. I looked at my phone. I'm like, what the hell is it? Like, for real?
Yeah.
It was quite the surprise. Like, wow, things are going to change drastically. I think this is.
Actually, here's the thing about it. They actually all doing Elseworld movies.
They're making the Black Label universe.
Yep, like since Joker was a success, they're all doing Elseworld
Yeah,
movies.
here's the thing though. There's only a few DCU movies that were actually successful from the eyes of both critics and fans.
Yep.
It was after Justice League and before it.
Yep.
They had a pattern, and then they screwed it up.
Yeah, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey wasn't a bad movie, but
It was a fun movie.
yeah.
Ian McGregor, though, he was
Yeah,
great.
he was great. He was great.
He's my favorite part.
I
He
love
should have
his
been the
Spider-Man.
Joker over Jared Leto.
Yeah, he was fantastic. It's really bombed.
Yeah, he's basically like a 1980s supervillain. Like like kind of reminds me a bit of like if you ever see RoboCop, Clarence Boddicker,
Yep.
just
Oh,
like
yeah.
that level of like asshole. I'm like I really miss this in movies because like a lot of times people try and like make the villain sympathetic or try and understand their point of view. I'm like, no, I just need somebody who's just a complete asshole. Like once in a while, I just need
He
that.
was a mixture of that though.
Right, like I sometimes just need somebody who's just a complete asshole, like just on all accounts. That's just, but he's like having so much fun being an asshole.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah, he was fun. Right. But anyway, back on track. All right.
All right, let's go over some of these rumors because, like I said, I was
Yeah.
always kind of confused by what they were doing this 5G thing. I've heard so many things and that.
Yeah, I agree. No, I don't about again. Dark Side War Arc, but doesn't say that. But just yeah, that went nowhere. But anyway, back on track. Okay, what's at the end of the project and why he left? Okay, Dan Didio and those no rumors. Okay, this is a part you saw to remember before. This thing started with Generating Zero, which oh boy, Generating Zero. The way they made one with the Dr. Manhattan. Come on, Boom, what's your opinion on this?
Well, just to back up a bit, what things are starting with flash forward number 6. Wally
Yeah.
West is sat on the Mobius chair. It's infused with the power of Dr. Manhattan. That's flowing into Flash issue 750. That will be followed by the Free Comic Book Day Generation Zero Gods Among Us.
Yep.
Where-
Injustice God Among Us.
What's that?
Kind of like Injustice. Injustice God Among Us, but with just Generating Zero.
Yeah. So I'm not sure who the Gods Among Us are, and then that's going to flow into starting in May of 2020, Generation 1, Age of Mysteries. Then in June, it's going to be Generation 2, Age of the Metahuman, followed by Generation 3, The Age of Crisis, Generation 4, The Age of Rebirth, and Generation 5, The Age of Tomorrow, which will come out in September. And then in October of this year, we're going to start the new 5G.
Possibly.
So,
Possibly.
Well,
I think
that's
this-
right.
I think this might have just been axed altogether. I think that's why it got canned because this was like his baby, and you're trying to celebrate like 80 years of like the company's history, like all these different characters, and you're just gonna like you're just gonna throw Batman away, you're just gonna throw Superman away, you're just gonna throw Wonder Woman away,
Yeah.
like in a non-organic fashion, just kind of like here you go, this is all this. No, it's completely disrespectful. It's not done organically. It's just like flushing things down the toilet. It's just not going to work. And your core fan base, your core readers are who you should cater more to than like trying to get the new readers who don't really read comics necessarily. It's not good. You got to have a strong foundation, and trying to throw that foundation away just to try and get like appease some people on Twitter, it's just not going to work. So
I do think it's worth. I think that the purpose, obviously, of the irony of 5G was that it was trying to create some organic progression and try to say that every story matters and that every story happened and that it does take place. And if you want to know when that story took place, you can just look at that 5-generation timeline. And I do think, as well, that Dan Didio, who ironically has a reputation for hating legacy characters.
Yeah, he hates Wally West.
He actually ends up getting fired for embracing legacy because 5G was Dan Didio's baby. And and then so now with Dan Didio gone, you got to wonder about the future of 5G because it might be scrapped. Who knows?
I don't think it's gonna be scrapped. I think it's gonna be like overly freaking priced.
Yeah,
It's just a lot. I know it
$8
is.
a month.
It's the same thing with the freaking variants, which I think is ruining comics along with people who torrent their comics.
I agree. It's a complete rip off.
Like the digital, I don't think it's harming anything. I think what they do is they download it from Comixology after all the donations to keep the website running,
Yep.
and they download them after they pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird that Dan is gone. Like, you know, I'm gonna have nobody to complain about anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because I blame him for the changes of Dick Grayson. I blame him for, you know, giving him that ugly black and red suit in New 52.
Yep. I blame
But that Nightwing though, it had amazing stories.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the red suit. I like. I like. I mean, I
Here's
like
the thing.
color red.
You know why? You know why I hate it? I can tell you right now why. It made me it reminded me of
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell and the
Chris
Batman
O'Donnell.
Robin.
Yep.
Oh yes.
And
It's
but
just
Renegade.
Nightwing with a cape. I tell everybody this. It's Nightwing with the cape. That's all you do. Put the cape on Nightwing. There's your Robin.
Yep.
Batman Robin.
Yep. It's really stupid.
Batman Robin's great though. It's so dumb, but I love it.
It's a dumb movie.
It's great to binge watch the old Batman movies. Just to be like, oh, let's see. I wonder how it'd be like in a sequel. I wonder how this is gonna work out. I wonder how it'd be if it was Robin Williams as the Riddler.
I wish I could go to like travel through the multiverse and get like see what Batman Triumphant would have been, or some of those other Batman movies they were gonna make.
That woman's so funny. Yeah. But anyway, no, I probably do make a 5G. One of them would be my boy John, the Johnson with the new Superman, which I think is a terrible idea because this did not even work. You didn't even look my boy.
Here's the thing, though. He's already Superman in Batman Beyond. We saw him during the Tim Drake run.
That is true. You're right about Beyond in the future, which I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but we know how long he was Superman, though. That's the thing. He had gray hair.
Oh yeah, damn it.
See, David, you gotta remember all these things.
Well,
Isn't Batman Beyond like an other universe though?
I don't know. That was like they didn't clarify if
I think it's
canon with the current Batman.
I think it's an alternate future because that means like
yeah.
you can't really do anything in the past because it'll contradict. I think it's just an alternate future.
Yeah.
So like there's something I like in that book. You know, I'll say that book's been good still. Like I've liked pretty much everything.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like I didn't like what they did with Damian because I think that completely goes against all character development.
I feel like he was gonna go to that direction though. Ever since the first appearance. Like he's gonna go on a dark path later. That's how I felt when I first read it.
That to me, it's like for me, I don't like that because the DC universe is supposed to be like all about hope, and that pretty much just means that all this time you spent with this character actually trying to do better, it's completely meaningless.
You can't only have Vegeta because Vegeta.
I think they're trying to bring back the whole Jason Todd thing. You know, like he's, never gonna go back to the family. He's on his own. I feel like Damian
because he started out
outcast. He's an outcast, not like Jason Todd, but he's more like, okay, my dad doesn't spend time with me. I don't see my mom. She's a psychopath. All my friends are abandoning me because of my actions, and then my big brother doesn't remember.
Yeah,
because he's the only one that took it really hard. That Dick didn't wake up.
Alfred died.
Plus, Alfred was killed in front of him too. So like that
also kind of a little bit.
That kind of irritates me because I'm like, I'm not a parent or anything, but like Bruce is like the worst dad like right now. He'd rather go off screwing somebody on a Catwoman on a beach than actually parenting. So that to me was like frustrating. I'm like, I was glad in that Alfred Pennyworth issue where it was like Babs calling him out for all this nonsense. So I feel like that's the writers calling out the previous issues too a bit. I feel like a little bit of that's like worked into there, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think the Batman. I think Tom King's Batman was a narrative disaster.
It was a disaster.
That entire thing was a disaster. It was lipstick on a pig the way he ended that, and with Alfred dying, that was nonsense. It's so obvious that it shouldn't have been real. There was still no explanation for how it should have been a psycho pirate illusion. It was still not explained how they controlled psycho pirate. That was never explained.
That still confused the hell out of me.
It was still never explained how. Like so many of those plot points were not explained. It never made any sense. It's so easy to bring Alfred back, and they should bring him back. and they shoehorn that in just for 5G, and it just doesn't work, and it just drives me crazy. And just the point about John Kent, young John Kent, people seem to forget how absurd that was. That he aged 7 years while being held captive in a volcano on Earth 3
by the crime syndicate.
Think about that for a second. And he has no, and he's psychologically tormented by Ultraman.
Yeah,
like a super psychopath in another dimension, and he has no ill effects at all. John Kent wasn't, 7 years psychologically tormented by a supervillain and he feels fine. He comes back. He's just 7 years older. He's still doe-eyed. He's still all happy-go-lucky. He still loves his mom. He loves his dad. There's no ill effects at all from his incarceration for 7 years in another universe. The whole thing is utter rubbish.
It is rubbish.
Totally.
We have another newsstand. Hello. We're going to just want to say hi. They can understand. I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree 100% because that pissed me off. Still, I was enraged because what? You're telling that this 10-year-old kid who would try a volcano, who got tried with Mr. I, a psychopath, a murderer, a complete nut job, but who should not be seen in time mind because he was captured by Dr. Manhattan. How did he escape? Answer: never explain. It's never gonna explain because how stupid it was. Like what the? Okay, I would curse, but if I did, then I could go full rage. But that made me mad so much. I was pissed because you just tell me that this candidate who went to Mr. Eyes is a psychopath who got that Manhattan who escaped somehow and now came out in Men of Steel. It made no sense. And then his mom abandoned him alone in space. What the fuck? That threw me at the wall. And then you get joined by the crime syndicate, who shouldn't even exist. They shouldn't exist. We saw them like dogs they would. How the fuck are they still alive? Like it didn't make no sense.
Breathe, just breathe.
You need a drink, my friend. You need a drink. I usually have Crown and Coke beside me.
I just don't want to.
But yeah, that was just ridiculous. I'm like, even just thinking that too. It's like, okay, so the guy who just tried to kill you and abduct your son, you're like, oh, let me just go out with him into space. Why? Like, what sense does that? Like, I don't know how they like the Superman. Like, Clark and Lois, like during the start of Rebirth, were some of the most loving, caring, smart parents like you could ask for. They were fantastic. And then just as soon as a new creative took over, like for some reason, this guy comes in and gets all of Superman, gets control of all this stuff, no experience or seniority writing any DC characters. And he just throws it down the window. Yeah, Superman's going to reveal his identity and endanger everybody.
Yeah, again.
Lois comes back, doesn't even tell Clark. Let me just make out with Superman, even though like everyone knows I'm married. I'm just like, come on now. Like, good God almighty.
To make it even worse, after he was tortured actually by the crime syndicate for 3 weeks apparently, that makes no sense. How could he age up this quickly in space and then got like 3 weeks on Earth? That doesn't make any sense. That's confusing on what the fan zone time didn't work with. Oh my God, my brain is hurting. Like, how do you come on the fan zone when the Earth got sent to the fan zone? Oh, who idea what to get banned the road coming anyway? Good question. I was wondering about that myself. But Dan Didio. Guys, do you think it's his idea to get banned this both comics?
It's why give this man so much power?
Yeah.
You know what I just remembered? Remember the thing was like Bendis is coming on all the issues? It was oh man. It's just so sad too because there's so much goodwill at the start of Rebirth. If they would have kept building on that foundation, I think you keep people around. Like the Superman books are still like we're selling better than the Superman books now.
Yeah.
So without all the gimmicks, because you kept that core foundation. Like I love this Superman Rebirth stuff so much. I didn't have to have any punching or fighting in the issues. I almost didn't even want it to happen because I was enjoying just reading about them, just kind of going through everyday lives and challenges. I thought that was just so good and well written and so warm and hopeful. And like it was a good thing for Superman too, because he got to teach his values.
That's right. And It's tragic when you think that Action Comics last month sold 35,000 copies. When Bendis came on board, I believe the sales were at 46 to 48,000 a month, which they were trending down when Bendis got there, but they've continued to trend. And the bottom line is Gleason and Tomasi sold more Superman comics, and people were simply more interested in the story. And I just want to make a quick point about that. The revelation, the secret identity being revealed. Bendis has totally forgotten. I think he's failed to appreciate that Superman is the archetype for the secret identity.
Yeah.
And there's always a Superman story that you can tell precisely because he has a secret identity. And now that he doesn't have a secret identity anymore, now Clark Kent doesn't need his glasses. Now Clark Kent looks like Superman, and now now Superman is meek and mild like Clark. I don't know if you guys read the last few issues, but it's like now Bendis is writing Superman meek and mild like Clark half the time.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I don't know, like he sort of lost touch with things, and it's frustrating as hell. And there's no story there. I mean, the story seems. I guess we're supposed to be impressed that he's now that everyone knows he's a secret. Like, where's the story? I just don't know what's the big deal. It's like his event Leviathan, the non-event Leviathan. It's not exciting.
In fact, we did this before. Adam and about DCU. Remember this? I remember this. No, just me.
No.
This is Superman True. This stupid arc, Superman then got revealed to the world, and guess what? It was a disaster. Holy shit! This story was all bad. Also, there's Gordon Batman too. Hi, Gordon Batman. Yeah.
Well, I actually got it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. This is a different Gordon Batman, and this is DCU. And now we're doing it again, but this time make it worse. Why are we doing the Trooper again? Why? You may continue.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that the new 52 story written by I think it was Gene Yuan.
Yeah.
He's just finished writing Superman and the Clan, a 3-part story, which was pretty good. He wrote that true storyline in the new 52, and you're right that it wasn't that great, but it was actually a better plot line than what Bendis is currently writing. It wasn't devoid of plot. It was actually it was at least mildly interesting. But I don't find anything that Bendis is doing as Superman now really captivating. I mean, because it takes too long for him to tell a story. He's terrible at pacing. His dialogue is off. The art's fantastic, but unfortunately, he keeps telling Ivan Reis to draw Superman almost meek and mild and with stupid looking facial expressions. And I mean, it's pretty sad when you're emotionally abused son who's 17 but has the mind of a 13-year-old because he's been trapped in a volcano for 7 years
and tortured.
Inspires Unity Day. I mean, give me a break.
Oh, hey, my son just disappeared. Let me send him to the future with a bunch of people I don't really know.
It's stupid and drama level. Oh, by the way,
and then when Damien showed up, they pretty much gassed him. Like they teased him.
That made me mad. I was worried about it, but we'll get that minute. But my good friend Lenny has to go, but he said tell people they can follow me on my Twitter at Garbachul. Yeah, my good friend Lenny had to go. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, at Garbachul on Twitter. Yep. And I want to give a shout out to Lynn. Thank you for joining us. And we're back on track. Yeah, we just read issue number 3. Okay, I want to talk about the issue 1 because this pissed me off. I was pissed because what? You promised Super Son return. I guess, and then you let David mine. What the what they with the feature let them use them? Like, what the fuck? That pissed me even more. I was pissed because I did a land bill on that, and I wish I did a land bill. What the fuck? You promised me at the Super Sons. I get no Super Sons. I get BS instead. Super Son issue with yeah, that is issue 16 got me mad.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, but speaking of Super Sons, story, that reminds me. What gets an end of the deal destroyed? Super Sons and the age of my favorite character, John for crap with randomly tortured, hunted by their own mother, abandoned. Chased by a monster by Rogozar with that one nowhere.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Rogozar.
Yeah. Where did Rogozar? Where did he go? Oh wait, he got captured and in prison by the Phantom whose empire should not be that strong. With the Injustice League, the empire got destroyed. But his book, they're alive. What? I don't get Bendis' logic. And oh yeah, the leadership build. Okay. Having John during the leadership build makes no sense. Because one, why are they here? Two, they shouldn't exist because Doomsday got established. They were erased from the time of Dr. Manhattan. Why are they here in this timeline? What? Connect the dots. I can't find it. Please, connect the dots. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, even though leadership they may appear made leadership look at it, but yeah, I agree 100%. Leadership made Damon in the pyramid leadership the villains. They are the villains. They're not heroes. They're jerks. They're a-holes. Come up with your opinion.
Yeah, plus too, like John, were they? I don't understand. Like, were they following a different timeline too? Because like if he was gone for 7 years, would it really be wise to take somebody who's really not much heroic experience to like after being gone like 7 years to like right to the future right away? Now I can understand if say John stayed on Earth and it had been 7 years of him as Superboy doing his thing and then getting asked to go. But I don't understand that. Like if they're supposed to know the timeline, like why is this happening like this?
Yeah. I can kind of answer that question a bit. I was being a little bit of a jerk when I was criticizing that storyline. What actually happened when he was on Earth 3, when John Kent, but you got to read it very carefully. When he escaped the volcano, he actually stayed on Earth 3 for a portion of those 7 years, and it was not defined how many years he was actually trapped on Earth 3, and he was ultimately confronted by Superwoman and then escaped, but he did have adventures on Earth 3 that we are unaware of.
That's a good point. Isn't this the Legion from Earth 1? So what are they doing paying attention to Earth 3 like this whole time? Or are they just hacked? I don't know.
Well, no. What happened? Yeah, he was trapped on Earth 3, and then he ended up being brought back by Jor-El, who managed to track him. But it was only after he had aged up 7 years, and part of the reason why there was chaos, and it was this crazy explanation because it coincided with what was happening in Justice League, Snyder's Justice League, with the breakdown of the Source Wall and what was going on with Doomsday Clock because of a series of extraordinary events. That's the paradox of how he aged up, and it's apparently not supposed to impact anything else. So that is
so complicated.
That is so complicated. That makes no sense. Like how now the Source Wall, Dr. Manhattan, and the black hole view with the crime syndicate. I'm confused.
And the promise tomorrow. I can't think of it all.
My brain is melting out on my skull. Like.
Now, have you guys been looking up at the solicitations a bit too ahead? Like I always try to look ahead too, just to kind of see what's up, like in the different books and that too. So, are we gonna get a new Robin? I saw that, like.
I did hear about that. Okay. This just goes to Dan Didio talk and by G stuff as well because apparently the solicitations Damian Wayne may quit as Robin, and the Teen Titans are now going to go be something. I forgot what the student said, but. The team that team may disband because Damian Wayne may go bye-bye.
Well, to be fair, that team probably should just disband because they have not been good for each other at all. It's pretty much been in each other's throats for like a year and a half. Like I still hate that to this day. How we never saw the previous team even break up. We never even saw it happen on panel. We're just kind of told it happened for reasons. And this current team has gone through way worse situations. And like been way at each other's throats, way worse. And one of their teammates pretty much trapped one of them in a ring forever and tried to murder the other ones, kind of.
I prefer a classic look. Anyway,
that was just me. I was just kind of confused why they're even still a team. It just kind of baffles me.
Yeah, I don't get it. That team is a joke and a mess. And Roundhouse betrayed the team. Jin got thrown in a ring, and then a brother who I saw you did one. You say 80s villain.
Oh, I love his look. I'm like, oh, like, wow, this dude looks like straight out of Scarface or something. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But he's pretty much just a Trigon substitute.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you count the Jin character, she's kind of like, a bit of like, I guess if you want to mix a bit of Starfire and Raven into one character a bit, that's kind of how I describe her. Roundhouse is trying to fill the Beast Boy role, but I think what this team is missing, they're missing an Amazon.
Yeah, or Mr. Superboy. John should be on the team. John could give out to Damon hope. But you know, you destroyed the great team with John Damon. I said before that Danny Didio gone, I'm hoping we're playing a Super Sun's return. Why? Because let's face it again, Super Sun with a great time dance get canceled. That's not they're destroyed.
Maybe Wally West with his Dr. Manhattan chair, he can kind of alter things to de-age John. I think that's a simple way to fix it.
Yeah, New 52, they don't. Yeah, New 52 Robo and always New 52 Robo. What? That was a disaster. In fact, New 52 Robo actually came back in Green Lantern, or not Green Lantern, but Robert did Green Lantern, and it was funny because he was captured in a jar and said, "No, go in that one." And then he's so trapped. It's so hilarious. Yeah, this guy is a joke. I'm glad he's dead. Or is he? I don't know. I know. I forgot about how I'm doing, but I ain't giving a damn about him. He just exists.
Right. So, but yeah, going back to Teen Titans, I know they're getting a new creative team. I don't know if it's just like for like one arc or something, or if the book's just going to end. So we'll see what happens with that one. I know I kind of speculated on the last video I did on it, but we'll see.
I'm hoping that team gets disbanded and we get back the real particularly Teen Titans. Personally, going with fantastic. I'm glad team is a joke and a mess, and that team.
It's a Suicide Squad book. It's like a kid's Suicide Squad book.
Yeah, it's just garbage.
So you know what? With for people I'd add to the roster, I would have obviously added John would have been cool. I don't know where Maya is. Like she was his best friend, and why he didn't recruit her, I don't know. And with Wally's kids back, I'd have them on the team too. I know like they already have a speedster, but I kind of like Wally's kids a bit more. I think they're more interesting.
So Wally kids are bad. My team, for the new super team, Super Sen. Well, actually, no, not the Super Sen. I got a better idea. Make it Super Kids. Like D.A. John back in 10 years or so. Bring back Damon Wayne. Get rid of that team. Team that garbage. Get rid of that team. Have Damon Wayne make his own team with John. Bring Wally's kids. Bring back. I can't find say that in there. Oh, I could be by saying Mira's gonna have a baby. Have Betty Mira's baby actually get age up and have her join the Super Sons.
Oh, so kind of like what they're doing with was it Young Justice?
Yes.
So okay, yeah, just something because I think like the Teen Titans, it's based on a core of friendship too.
Yeah.
But you don't really get that with the group. I think if you had that core friendship like foundation, it would have worked better. But you don't really, sadly. So
yeah, the only good thing coming to DC is Deceased.
Deceased is great. You know what? Why isn't Tom Taylor on a main book? That man could write every DC character, I swear. Like he just seems to have an knack for writing every single one so well. I don't think any other writer has like. I mean, there's writers I really like Tomasi's probably my favorite, but like in terms of writing every DC character, I think Tom Taylor probably does it the best.
I was going to wait. What? She was? I know about this. Wait, come on, do you read Terrifics?
I do, yeah.
Do you read on Terrifics? Because apparently Maya was coming in the Terrifics annual.
I haven't read the annual yet. I'm behind in my readings this week because of all the news and a lot.
Yeah.
I've been doing a number of live streams, so
yeah.
Oh, really? That's cool. I'm like, why she wasn't recruited for his Teen Titans?
I haven't read Terrifics, so I read parts of it, and it's really weird. I mean, that's the one you read in Hill book that survived.
Yeah, there's so many books that I don't really read. I like for some reason I'm just like I really want to like read all of the Flash because I started at the beginning, but I haven't really read it for like pretty much since like the first year of Rebirth. But I want to go through and try and read the entire run. But like I just gotta force myself to kind of just sit down and read it because like with so many new books that come out, like you can't really keep up.
Yeah.
Like Superman, I finally dropped that book after like issue like 20. I'm like I can't do this
issue
anymore.
20 broke me. That was the final straw for me because what the hell is this crap? Like
I dropped Justice League after because I was reading that and I was pretty much confused for most of the run,
I love Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder was fantastic. That suit was amazing. That suit was epic. That suit gave me my badass at the moment, Superman. When you go out to all his sons, and after you remember, after the 10-year-old boy, John, that was great. And me and his other father, not Mr. Isaac as well, but John McKent, his actual adopted father. And you go on to the son and get the portrait and put him in a bit and one button moment, epic on your academia moment, Dragon moment. That was epic. That was badass. I love that moment. That made me smile. And made me meet John Cameron, 10 years old, because I love that moment with Justice League. What's it if I find it? Continue.
25. With
Yes.
that moment with John, I think yeah, that was a great moment. But I just to build on what JTS Reborn was saying, alluding the longer narratives of DC is one of the reasons why I think sales have gone down across the board. Justice League storylines are too long, 39 issues long for Scott Snyder, and it ended with the bad guys winning. It had a non-ending. Now we got a death metal. Joshua Williamson on the Flash is very much a mixed bag. He should have been taken off Flash probably by issue 20. His narratives, it's quite confusing as well. I don't find it particularly well written. I think that's just coasting. He does the same trope, the same storyline, the same speed. He introduces Speed Force, Strength Force. He has contradictions. The same Force. Wally and for Barry, he's all over the place. And same thing with Tom King. Way too long, an 85 issue run on Batman.
With so many issues wasted.
Yeah. Oh, but I found it. I found it. Can you see?
Oh yes, I can see.
Yep.
Good artwork.
I love it more about 40 minutes. This is my favorite moment in Justice League because it gave me hope and love, and gave me John. It gave me the three.
That man is a very talented artist.
Yeah.
You could tell he's not happy with what they did with Super Sons.
Yeah, and you can tell that he loved our 10-year-old John Kent, not the Bendis John from that.
Right. Like he's definitely I think him and Tomasi and at least in that are not happy with what they did with Super Sons.
Yeah, and that's why I love Scott Snyder gave me hope. I love that moment because it was a great family moment for him remembering his son. And for my mind that we're not going to get any more of this great family moment than with the Superman family all together as a family. Did DBZ epic anime movie? I want this anime movie, but DC is saying this. Give me an anime movie of Scott and Justice League. I would pay so much money to see that. For all the guys DC, make that happen. I would pay money to buy all that into one big anime movie. Ooh, I got better idea. Make Dark Knight Metal, but fuse with Scott and Justice League and swim in the anime movie.
I think it's worth noting that Brian Bendis tweeted earlier, I think it was yesterday, when he talked about Dan Didio made all his dreams came true, and one of Bendis's dreams was doing Legion of Superheroes. That's what the big epic thing was. Everything, the whole Rogolzar storyline, the Superman, everything was to build toward Legion of Superheroes. And so let's be absolutely clear on this. There was no meeting. There was no meeting of the minds. They never talked to all the writers at DC. They never had a summit where all the writers got together and where they all agreed that they would age up John Kent. That was 100% a unilateral Brian Bendis dictate, a decision, and it was honored, and it was forced down the throats, and that was honored and pushed through by Didio, who sticks up for his creators. Now, if it was a great idea, thank God Didio would stand up for creators. So it's a double-edged sword. This was one idea that the fans didn't want. Nobody liked it, but they pushed it through. And guess what? It's not really worth it. I don't even mind the Legion of Superheroes. I don't mind the Legion of Superheroes, but at the end of the day, this is the price that we pay. We could still have a great Legion of Superheroes comic, and we don't need to have an aged up John Kent to have a great Legion of Superheroes story. We could have Connor Kent in the future. We could have anybody in the future.
Supergirl in the future.
Or you know what? Make a new super person. Put Supergirl on the team or something.
Well, about Supergirl, I did want to talk about it, but he did talk to Dan Didio. Apparently her book got canceled. Issue 39.
I haven't read any of it, so I don't know if it's good or
Yeah,
bad.
well, you know, that's killing Supergirl. I review every issue of Supergirl on my channel, and well, I shouldn't say everyone. I skipped a couple, and it's a mercy killing because despite having decent writers on there like Mark Andreyko and Jody Hauser, they're decent enough writers, but they're forced to comply with Bendis's storylines in Superman.
Yeah.
They can never write Supergirl in her own adventures. She's trapped. Now she's trapped being part of the Secret Six.
The infected storyline.
Year of the Villain has been a failure. I would say it's been underwhelming. If it's not a failure, I would say it's been a very underwhelming year for DC, because that was an event that I don't think really it felt like Year of the Disappointment to me.
Yeah. Year of the Villain is a complete waste of time. Nothing mad at that. That event was pointless. What, the Superman Year of the Villain? Pointless. Teen Titans Year of the Villain. What's the point of that?
The only thing it did was brought in Lobo, but like it really played no factor. I don't know where anything is in continuity anymore. Like I can't tell you like where the Titans book is or the Teen Titans book is in terms of continuity. I don't know. I'm like, is it before Alfred dies or after?
What do we say about non-power character in the future soon about? Oh, that actually will be a great idea. I agree, Tyron, and that will be an excellent idea. Like, here's the thought we just should build, Bendis. Why not have Betty Damon Wayne join the team with John? Like, you didn't know his mind, or another option is you didn't want to have Damon Wayne? Fine. But have John every go back to the past with them and bring Tim Drake and Connor. Ooh! That actually gave me a great idea.
Isn't Tim Drake's name like Ducker? Like, isn't he a Duck or something? I keep hearing. I haven't read any of Bendis' stuff.
Yes.
It's who? What?
It's Tim Drake. Okay, Drake. He changed into Drake.
Like his last name, or
yeah.
No, wait a minute. Okay, just back up. In the pages of Young Justice, there is a Drake, but there was a Drake from
Earth 3.
Ended up. First of all, Young Justice is a terrible series, but they ended up on Earth 3, and there's that Young Justice counterparts, their evil counterparts on Earth 3. There was a Drake character who was the Red Robin character, and they called him Drake. And I think that's who that Drake is, and I don't. It's a mess. Bendis really shit the bed on
it's these guys.
Yeah, I'm not hearing great things about Young Justice. I heard good things at like the first few issues, and then just like afterwards, just
issues 1 through 6 about the Gemworld stuff, and the Gemworld stuff is so boring. I didn't get a damn out of Gemworld. No one get out of Gemworld. Gemworld, look, Prince Emmett is a character, but yeah, that all dragged like crazy to get to the damn point. The one good thing that came out of that matter was Connor Kent return. Granted, it very retconned the Detective Comics stuff and Jim King and stuff. That did piss me off. But I let it slide because I was in fun of it. But issue 6 or issue 5, when we figure out what's going on with Tim Drake's memory, turns out we didn't need one with the memory back. No, we had that Zatanna do it. Okay, fine. Let's Zatanna fix his memory, which he does. And they also reveal all of Young Justice for comics now canon again. Wait, what? That makes no sense. Because what was with the fixing everything? What was with the bring back all hope? Not Zatanna. Did I miss anything? No. Not me. Anyway, after that arc ended, we got the whole Earth 3 stuff. Okay, this is another part of Bendis serving Earth 3. 1, why Earth is still here? When it destroyed by the Anti-Mon and Darkseid War? But no, it's alive. 2, the Crime Syndicate are not on Earth 3 anymore. Even though and Bendis and Superman, they're all alive in Earth 3. Why are they dead in Young Justice? That makes no sense. 3, who are these new Crime Syndicate members who come on Young Justice members except and now what? I'm lost.
I want to point something out here that before Dan Didio was fired, and this is actually related to the Young Justice debacle. Young Justice is a really genuinely terribly written 12 issues, and I'm saying that I almost feel like I can say that objectively. And the reason for it is that bear in mind there was 5 editors that left DC before Didio was fired. Now Didio was a co-publisher. As co-publisher, he looks after all the lower editors. 5 editors left in the last 3-4 months. and that's because and this is what the rumor is, and what the strong possibility is that Didio was supporting the creators. Bear in mind that Tom King got
screwed over.
Another editor put on. Editors don't have any power. And Young Justice is a terribly written storyline. There's too many characters. We still have no explanation. Bendis picked characters out of different timelines, out of the New 52, out of Rebirth. There's no reason. There's no explanation as to how they can even coexist in this particular era. His first story arc was called Seven Crises.
Yeah.
He never identified what Seven Crises he was talking about. This is a mess. There was no story here. It's gone nowhere, and we're still at nowhere, and it's issue 13. This is an abject disaster by any metric. And, editorially behind the scenes, look, why would an editor quit DC Comics? You'd think that would be a dream job. Well, hey, I mean, if you're not going to be respected, and if the writers aren't going to respect you, and I've heard through more than one grapevine that Bendis just does what he wants.
Yeah.
He gets paid a lot of money. You can't defy Bendis. I mean, try explaining to Bendis that won't work because, excuse me, Mr. Bendis, but you don't know what you're doing. Your story doesn't make sense. Your dialogue doesn't make sense.
Yeah, your story to cut the fuck, connect the continuity.
The biggest problem too.
How I want.
I think the biggest problem with Bendis is he has way too many books to write each month. You can't keep track. You can't focus on it's quantity over quality. I think maybe if he had like one of his Elseworld, or if he was doing his own stuff like outside of the main stuff,
like Open Spider-Man, it always starts with outside continuity, not the open universe.
Right. If he was doing like some weird Elseworld stuff, like just kind of off to the side, doing his own thing, maybe like an issue or two a month or something like that, that'd be fine. But he's given he has like 10 books he's writing each month, and I can't keep track of them all.
Ridiculous and stupid, so many with this poor my video game with this film. Oh, speaking of Young Justice, we also got the new person, Naomi. Yeah, Naomi, a character who I did write in her own series, but in a Young Justice book, it's a mess. Also we have Diana for Hill come back, even though in their book they're trying to multiverse. Why are they here in Young Justice? That makes no sense. The Wonder Twins, I can understand why they're on Earth, because, well, they've been in their own series. Fine, I read that one, Papa, but what? The Diana for Hill character? Why are they in Young Justice? Also at the end of it, we have Sideways come back. Wait, what? Sideways? Where have you been all this time? When your book got canceled? He came back because he's what? And then, okay. The one thing in the account, the way issue was, it was trying to spoiler Aqualad. Okay, rebuild Aqualad, not old Aqualad and Titans. Long story. And, spoiler Aqualad and, Ellet and Sideways. Okay. You're adding more characters, it is crush the fuck out of a series. You're adding more characters to fire, and now Connor can't trap on Scott Taylor, who was from Telos. But once Scott Taylor dead from Telos from Convergence, like, what? I don't get it. Why are we trying to find Connor Kane again if we already found him already? This makes no sense. This is confusing.
Well, Tevla, you've identified what the primary problem is with Young Justice, the storyline.
Yeah.
Nobody is reeling Bendis in. All those questions you have about, how can the Warlord be there because of Convergence, and why is even Connor Kent around? That's never explained, really.
Yeah.
Where'd the Gemworld come from? Why like there's so many questions. How is Stephanie even there? How is the spoiler even there? How can Impulse be there at the same time? I mean, how come they don't remember certain things? How come they don't remember what happened in Detective Comics when Tim Drake was kidnapped by Mr. Oz?
Yeah.
And then supposedly Superboy. I mean, there was so much stuff that happened leading up, and all of that we're told Bendis was saying, well, that's going to be explained. That's going to be explained. Well, guess what? I don't think it's going to be explained anymore.
Not explained at all.
And and I got to tell you something. Just mark my words here. There's a war of ideas going on, maybe a friendly war, Scott Snyder, by the way, in his tweet, he did tweet that he admitted that him and Dan Didio had some nuclear arguments. They had some nuclear disagreements.
I don't know what this.
They have a war of ideas, and it's clear now that of all the kingdoms in the DC thrones, that Snyder has more power. Snyder has more power than Bendis. And AT&T corporate executives, they're going to be listening to Snyder, not Bendis, because look at Bendis' sales. It's been a disaster. And
that's indeed. Reviving, remember that event? What the point event reviving? No, so what this event was pointless. Like 6 issues of nonsense. Like, who's reviving? You're reviving. I'm reviving. Wait, what? And then issue 6, the finale of that stupid event, and I'm reviving. Who? Who's Manhunter? I don't know who this guy is. Like, I'm Hank something. Manhunter. I'm reviving. Who the hell Manhunter? I don't know who this guy is. I don't give a man about this guy. Oh my god, this guy was pointless. When you want to do reviving, fine. Hit a butt. I changed the topic on reviving. Oh my god, I came with a better idea. Make things have reviving. I know people get pissed off about that. I know people are mad about whether it became reviving. I don't give a damn. It's bad than the thing that we got. Because James Todd said, "Oh, Arsenal dead. I lost my best friend. Oh no, so I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna make the new reviving. I will show Batman. I'll show everyone and I'm the real shit of Batman. They all see."
Then Leviathan revealed too. It was like, "Who are you? I'm your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommates. So what does that make us? Absolutely nothing."
I respect boss.
I just make a quick note because this topic we've gotten a little bit off topic. If
we're
talking about 5G, if we're talking about 5G, it should be noted that there are in the process where they are in the middle of making the 5 DC Generation one shots, the 48-page specials, and they've got the writers that they have lined up for those one shots are Brian Michael Bendis, Dan Jurgens, Robert Venditti, Joshua Williamson, and another writer by the name of Andy Schmidt, who I'm not really familiar with Andy Schmidt, but apparently
I don't know who that is.
But apparently he's new, but he's got some background in, I believe, in Warner Brothers and maybe in animation. And the artists are Doug Mankey, Brian Hitch, Mikhail Janin, Ivan Reese, and David Marquez are the big artists. So I think artistically, 5G, I think they're in good hands artistically. I think there's no reason to worry there. I think I'm very concerned. I don't want Brian Michael Bendis to write anything from DC 5G.
Same here.
Anything at all. We can't risk it. We got to get him out. Dan Jurgens, Robert Venditti, Joshua Williamson. Frankly, that's a mixed bag too, if I'm honest. Except for Dan Jurgens, you can give Dan Jurgens. He was in the 80s. Give him the Age of Crisis. Maybe even the Age of the Metahuman. But as for the rest, Andy Schmidt, I mean, why are they getting a new guy in there? I don't know.
Get Paul Dini to write some stuff.
Get Paul Dini to write the Device. He would make it fantastic.
Yeah, well, he is writing something, right? Paul Dini is writing.
Yeah,
he actually is writing a Batman and Robin.
But Batman Animated Series. He's writing a Batman Animated Series comic. We have to continue to Batman Animated. Well, it's not a continuation. It's more basically a flashback series that takes place, I think, after the Good and Quit, and now Jason Todd will appear in that animated series. So Deathstroke.
I feel like they should almost do kind of reset the DC animated universe a bit, because there's certain things that kind of that way you can do some new things with it. You can kind of I know people bring up Flashpoint, almost Flashpoint it, but that way, but still kind of keep the same tone, but you can add in new members of the Bat family to that universe.
Yeah,
you can get your Jason Todd, you can get your Damian, you can get your Cassandra Cain, you can get your Stephanie Brown.
I mean, Jason Todd, he's gonna be a Batman animated series.
Well, I know that too. I'm saying in general, because
gotcha.
I would like to see how the original Batman the animated series would have tackled characters like Jason Todd and Damian and Cassandra Cain and all that stuff. I think that would have been kind of cool to see.
Absolutely all for that.
I agree. The idea of legacy characters in the animation, that I think that's key. And you never know. I mean, AT&T might they want to start hiring more writers in the animation and screenplay departments and go outside the traditional wheelhouse for writers. So that might be something, JT, that they might be moving towards.
Mm-hmm. And we got Harley Quinn animes here, and that show, I can't believe I'm saying this. Holy shit, was fantastic.
Oh, I was so surprised by how much I liked the Harley Quinn series.
Yeah,
I laughed quite a bit at a lot of stuff. It's definitely super hard R-rated, and I appreciate that. It's like a parody, but like using the characters. So
there's no David Wayne after one episode, and I know some people got pissed off about that. For me personally, I was fine with it. It was a parody, and the one thing I was hoping for, the thing I want to happen, I wanted to see John at the end of the animated series. I know that was insane, but when they could have rolled it, I want to see John to react to the Harley Quinn. That was funny. That was so good to see both Damien and John team up against Harley Quinn.
No. The funny thing to do would be to make John kind of like Damien, kind of like the edgier one.
Yeah.
Like make him like super kind of edgy, like the complete opposite. Just since it's a parody, you can kind of do it with what you want. But I mean, like I said, I really like the Harley Quinn show. I'm like, DC animation is usually pretty top notch.
Yeah. So what would Teen Titans Go? Teen Titans Go wasn't bad, but Young Justice came out. That show was fantastic. I do want to see
Teen Titans Go is mixed. It has some funny stuff on there, but some stuff it doesn't work. The Teen Titans Go to the movies I thought was genuinely pretty funny, especially when they redid the origins of all the superheroes. Literally putting the pearls on like Martha Wayne and shoving her into Crime Alley.
But gee, it's dark.
That was dark, but it was very funny.
Yeah.
Or the Stan Lee cameo was great. Because literally he takes over the movie. He's just like, I'm making my obligatory cameo. I'm like, oh. And then they tell him it's a DC movie.
That's hilarious.
Right. Like that was genuinely funny. Or even the crossover movie that they did. Although there's some things that would have tweaked a bit, but I still generally enjoyed that one. Because I'm like, one of my issues too is when they went to the animated movie universe, like with Justice League War and all that stuff, they didn't have that roster of Titans for whatever reason.
Which rosters did they have on that?
Well, in the crossover movie that they did, Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, they had like pretty much the same matching Titans, but like when they went to the DC AMU, they should have had that roster in there. They should have had like Blue Beetle in place of Cyborg in that, and they should have had Damian in there too. That would have been really funny. The comedy just writes itself there, just to have him deal with the other Titans because he is a little shit. But that's part of the appeal though. Like that's what Super Sons did so well was they played him up for humor.
Yeah.
So I feel like because he's supposed to start out some way, and then you just kind of play him up as that like angsty, or not necessarily angsty, like as you were saying earlier. What was it you were saying? You described him pretty perfectly. It was like a adult in a 13-year-old kid's body, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's right. As a narcissist, he's like an adult narcissist in a 13-year-old body.
Right, like imagine like that's right, like a Fraser Crane as a kid, kind of, but a little bit different, but just kind of that narcissist.
Yeah, and the mistake that the way that they're making a big mistake writing Damian now in Teen Titans, or at least they've Adam Glass has improved on it, that Damian is not evil, like making him create his own jail and to me
that pissed me off.
You don't overinflate his abilities. You don't make a 13-year-old, I'm sorry, but you don't make a 13-year-old capable of defeating a massive amount of adults. You got to remember that you're writing about a teenage kid, and you got to remember that he should be making a lot more mistakes. And they're really making him. He's almost better than Batman sometimes. It's ridiculous. This is not a character that should be challenging Deathstroke. I'm sorry, but this is a 13-year-old kid. He's a wannabe. He shouldn't even be leading the Titans. He's not the oldest. He's 13.
Yeah.
When you're teenagers, 3 years matter. There's a huge difference between a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Yeah, that's why I was happy when Starfire was kind of on the team running it. So I think it would have been great. You have like an older Titans kind of mentoring the younger Titans on the team.
Which I'm hoping for when the No Justice stuff happened. Which I know No Justice kind of a title, but I told him at the end No Justice we had big Damon Wayne at the Cruise on time. But here's a business. Bring back my team. Have John join after his team, like he was going to.
Right. Or like,
fantastic.
I'll say this too: the animated movies at least got that kind of right, where Nightwing and Starfire were the leaders of that team, so it gave the younger heroes somebody to look up to on the Teen Titans, or they just call them the Titans. But yeah, like I think that worked well. I'm like, okay, like in Judah's contract, I think the team dynamic works just fine in that movie, and it was cool to see. Like, you know, Nightwing I thought was done really well. They matured Damien's character up a lot. He's not like he kind of like fulfilled his journey. He still is questioning things. He's kind of like the Batman role in that movie, but like you can see he's clearly matured since his initial appearance, and so I appreciated that. I'll give the animated this. They're not regressing anywhere. They're actually letting the characters mature.
Yeah.
So
Even Young Judge Season 3 had to give it super set. Well, kind of sort of. They're still babies, but they're adorable.
Right. I'm excited for that, but I'm kind of disappointed that they're so young. Like, they should be closer. I think a few years older at least. Like, that's just my only disappointment. I'm like, no, they're still a bit too young. I feel like they should have at least been like 4 or 5.
I can wait a little longer. I'm sorry, because seeing 4 acting with the Rebirth, and that's where could John do with the Rebirth 10 times better than Bendis doing with the Rebirth.
Yeah, most likely.
Stuff.
I feel like Young Justice Season 3 went off. Like, there was too many characters and too much going on that season. It didn't have much focus like the first 2 seasons.
True, but it's still bad. And on X, one of my favorite moments in Super Saiyan, but also, you know, at the another moment I love, where she had to Beast Boy lead the team and fight like grand goodness.
That was great. My favorite episode was when they had the Roy Harper security team.
Yeah, that was funny.
So that was good.
Wait, you are? I know about this. Wait, come on, Boom.
Yes.
What do you thought on Damon Scott and Kerry Parker coming back to do a new Cassandra comic series?
What's my thought on Damien coming back?
No. Damien Scott and Kerry Parker coming back to do a new Cassandra King comic series.
I had not heard that. I would.
Neither did I.
I know. If that's true, I'm all for it. I'm a huge Cassandra Cain. I want Cassandra Cain to be Batgirl. I fell in love with Batgirl back in the Puckett days when I loved her as Batgirl, and I prefer Barbara Gordon as Oracle. So I'm kind of some last generation comic book or whatever age of heroes that would be. But I love Cassandra Cain, and I would welcome anything.
I always thought that I really like Cassandra Cain too. I always thought that it would have been the best thing. That my idea was like she should have been Batgirl, and I guess Damien would be Batman in the future, and they're kind of like leading like the Bat family.
Yeah.
I think that because they're both kind of similar, and they both fit the Batman role. I think better than the other Bat family members because they're so committed and dedicated. I think that could actually have been pretty cool.
We actually did get that, and we actually did get that down in one of the Batgirl issues. I forget what issue before the 1 year later stuff when they took Cassandra in a villain because bullshit because Dan Didio and he had regular carriers. But then checklist. Cassandra came back to got screwed over during New 52 and during 1 year later stuff. Oh, Dan Didio still destroyed everything. Oh, everything that destroys. Kind of like Joe Quesada. That's not much worse.
I don't really read Marvel comics. Like I read some Spider-Man stuff when I was younger, but like I'm not keeping up with their stuff. So it's too much.
Yeah, I agree. Batman United was good. I agree. Batman United was good. That's the one that did their good benefit stats.
Yep. He does love his dad. If only his dad would be better now. Like I I wish his dad was still kind of like he was in the Tomasi Batman and Robin run, which was really, really good. Like you actually showed him like showing more concern and trying to be a parent. I mean, if you were like having kids who was like 13 years old, would you really let them go off on your own like that? No, you'd want to be responsible. But Bruce is not really a responsible parent right now. In fact, it's because he's the one who sent him in, told him everything was fine to go do the whole thing with Alfred. And he's not really doing anything about it. So
I always kind of chuckle a little bit at the whole thing. Obviously, we have to suspend our disbeliefs when we read comic books, but it's obviously the child welfare department, if they came across a 13-year-old ranting and raving like a narcissistic prick like Damien, he'd be immediately detained and put into a foster home, and he would certainly be, his mask would be removed, and he would be taken away from Bruce Wayne immediately.
Right. You know, I kind of want to see a storyline where I know he's probably going to lose his Robin mantle. I want to see a storyline kind of similar to like Spider-Man 2, like when Peter gives up being Spider-Man. And then, like, he has to come back and just kind of because, like, all the shit that's happened to him, I just want to see him go to school. I want to see him kind of, like, interact with, like, the everyday people.
Exactly.
Right. That would be fresh, because you don't really have that. You have teenagers as superheroes, but you don't really explore the other side of that in any of these books. They're superheroes all the time. And that kind of removes the specialness of being a superhero when you don't.
It puts my 70 Brown spoiler. Okay, Batgirl got screwed over, but I know 70 Brown. It's not that I got screwed over during New 52. Well, not Rebirth, but it's got that.
Stephanie Brown was like you said, she got screwed over pretty badly. She doesn't really interact with the other members of the Bat family. I know she used to wasn't like Damien her Robin in her book too, and they had like a really funny dynamic.
So. Yeah, I think so. Well, actually, I think it was Tim Drake. It was Tim Drake.
No, I think it was both. Or Tim Drake was Red Robin, but I know there's a lot of issues with her and Damien. They kind of had like a dynamic too, if I recall. You know, look it up.
Yeah. Let's see.
And be careful of shipper art.
Yeah. Found it. Ta-da. Can you see?
Oh, yep. There's the one where they're in the little bounce house. I remember that. And just kind of like their dynamic was pretty funny. So, because I think he had a crush on her or something too, and she would call him out for that. Or he'd insult her. He'd call her fat girl.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. Like, I missed the dynamic so much. It put when that Batman up together. Like, why did this have to get destroyed? Like, why? Like. Thank God Andy's gone. Maybe, just maybe, we can find him at the Batman back at the real Batman. Because let's face it, Dan Didio destruction DC destroyed everything. Superman got screwed over with bullshit. I lost Superset, my favorite team, for BS. I lost the Batman. The Batman was in pieces. Like,
they're not even a family, if you really like anymore. There's no sense of unity. It's like they're family by choice. You don't feel that anymore. I think too, a lot of it's because Dick Grayson's gone. Jason Todd's off doing God knows whatever. Nobody seems to give a shit what Damien's doing. Like, he's kind of just allowed to run around, just do whatever he wants.
Tim is in the multiverse.
Tim is in the multiverse.
RIP stuff. Wait a minute.
She's off doing her thing.
That would confuse me. Oh my God! I can be forgotten. The Alfred RP. How Tim Drake here and being in the multiverse? Come from. Question. In Alfred RP. Question about this. Because this doesn't really blow my mind. How Tim Drake here in Alfred's funeral? Well, in the multiverse, he's still trying to move Young Justice. Connect the dots. How did that connect?
I don't. If you ask me a question about Tim Drake, I don't understand. Trying to reconcile his actions in Detective Comics, and then he was killed, but he didn't really die, and then he was a prisoner of Mr. Oz, and then Mr. Oz was supposed to be Dr. Manhattan, but wasn't. But then Mr. Oz ended up being Jor-El, and then Jor-El was a psychopath, but then he wasn't a psychopath, and then John Kent went with his grandfather, the psychopath Jor-El, into space, got lost, ended up on Earth 3, aged up. Came back. Tim Drake, what happened to Tim Drake exactly? Why did Tim Drake not remember Connor Kent? Then suddenly he remembers Connor Kent. I don't understand that. I really don't think that's ever been explained. Bendis doesn't have a clue. That's obvious. And the other thing, Bendis won't listen to editors that are trying to tell him that his story doesn't make sense, and that is the problem. And you might say, well, why would I say that? What evidence do I have of that? Well, I always look at the end product, because to me, what does the comic book say? Is there any answers in the comic books? I mean, we've had like how many years and they've not explained it. Maybe it's because they don't know what they're doing.
Conjuring is a joke.
You got to just shake your head and say, well, maybe there's something wrong with the writers. Yeah. But
I agree. I'm constantly a joke at DC, and this 5G stuff, Zone and Injustice, God Among Us stuff. Okay, we kind of went off topic. We kind of went into a DC comic discussion and said then there's a fire and 5G stuff. But okay, I do want to talk about it. This 5G stuff pissed me off. Why was it Dr. Manhattan? Okay, this infuriated me because we just got our family back. That made me happy. But now he's Dr. Manhattan. Which doesn't make any sense. One, how Dr. Manhattan powered in the movie chair? Two, why Dr. Manhattan powered in the movie chair? At the end of Doomsday Clock, issue number 12, we saw Dr. Manhattan with all the power to his little boy who was Mary and mine. Who was the child of Mary and mine. And his power was given to his child. But at the end of yeah, that guy is back. All right. Yeah, all right, you did one. Right, back on track. Right. At the end of the game, we saw basically Dr. Manhattan go back to the Watchmen universe with both New Rorschach and Ultimate Days. Me, what married my child, first child, but they have a second child. Right. What? But in Flash 4, it's never said Dr. Manhattan in the movie chair. I don't get it. How? What? My brain and body trying to connect all the time. It's like confusing. Like, what is happening? Like, it's why we go reboot the entire universe. Like, I'm confused. Like, come on.
Sorry. Well, I was just gonna say that. I mean, look, 5G is meant to make this thing to make things simple. And so let's give some credit to what the theory of 5G is, because we don't know what it is yet exactly. We have the outline of it, and in fairness to it, like, look, I've been very critical of Dan Didio over the last 18 years. I've been collecting comics since I was 7 years old. I'm a long time collector. He's had 18 years, and I called for him being removed, almost probably every single year since he was in. So look. But I have to tell you, of all the times that to fire Dan Didio, I'm surprised they fired him now, because this 5G is actually in almost it's not a horrible idea. It's not his worst idea, I'll tell you that much.
It's an easy idea, but what cost for why?
Well, I mean, I just think that we need the DC universe right now, and JT, you mentioned it. I mean, everything seems so convoluted. It doesn't feel like a family anymore. Nobody knows what anyone's doing. I mean, we don't. There's it's pretty sad when Damian acts and Damian is written like an adult. He acts like an adult. He does things an adult would do. He doesn't go to school. He's a super genius. He's smarter than adults. This is not a 13-year-old kid. They've lost sight of who the character's supposed to be. And it's really, really sad. And it's not just that. And then they're aging up John Kent. I mean, they don't seem to understand the formula that they have that can work. And it's really sad.
Okay, what I missed? I had to use the bathroom really quick.
We're really at the talking about, but at the end of Doomsday Clock, because I didn't do together, we saw Dr. Manhattan give power away to his little boy who turned out to be my son. But Flash 4 issue contradicts that ending because why now because the power of Dr. Manhattan. Even though that doesn't make sense, because in Doomsday Clock we saw the power go back to the little boy. That doesn't add up with Flash 4. We're not sure that doesn't add Doomsday Clock. Did Scotland have not read Doomsday Clock?
It does make sense, Tevye, the way that particular angle makes sense. The Mobius chair could be infused with some powers of Dr. Manhattan, because at the time that Dr. Manhattan, at the end of Darkseid War, Dr. Manhattan, we assume it was Dr. Manhattan, and it's been confirmed that it was by DC. He killed Owlman and he killed Metron. Yeah. And at that time, that's when the chair became infused with some of the powers of Dr. Manhattan. It was after Dr. Manhattan did that the end of Doomsday Clock occurred. So that in itself, there's no I don't think that's a continuity glitch. I don't think there's any inconsistency there. Now that the next question is, now with the Mobius chair being infused with some powers of Dr. Manhattan, with Wally West in it, Wally West being the symbol of rebirth, the symbol of hope, and Wally West can see the past, the present, and the future in the Mobius chair. And but he also can see what's wrong with it. And the premise of 5G is Wally West, and this is me speculating, Wally West seeing what's wrong with the multiverse and seeking to fix it.
Mhm.
And the result is going to be the new 5G timeline. And the fixing of it will take place between now and October. So,
Yeah.
everything in theory between now and then, with all these creative teams from Bendis, Jurgens, Smith, Venditti, Williamson, Mankey, Hitch, Janin Reese, and David Marquez,
And Bendis.
those guys are going to
Yeah.
be hearkening in these new stories with these 5 different 48-page one-shots explaining in theory the new structure of the generations. So, you know, in that, the goal, they have a noble goal. Their goal is to create and revitalize the DC universe so that when guys like us have these live streams, we're not confused. That's their goal. So they have a noble purpose. Whether or not they'll accomplish that, or if they'll even proceed with that now with Didio being gone, that's left for further speculation.
Yeah, that's the question of the day. And by the way, did you kind of watch that before the word AT&T? Either 5G keeps going on, or we'll find out in the comment. Yeah, about that. That ain't bullshit. With over, because I haven't mentioned before off stream. That stuff is all crap. Because one, AT&T would be insane to cancel DC Comics because they make $1 billion with the movie. Joker made $1 billion. There's no way how AT&T would cancel DC Comics. So people saying that 5G keeps DC Comics going, okay, that part may be legit, but the finding out the comic stuff, that could be bullshit. Like, what do you think about this comment?
Oh, DC shutting down if 5G fails?
Yeah.
I don't know, because they're obviously going to keep making the movies, and they're going to have something ongoing, whether it's animation or comics. I feel like, if anything, they'll cut back on certain things. I don't think they'll get rid of the comics division entirely, because then you'll have like this big... And if it does, it'll only be temporary, because then it'll come back. Because that's my initial thing. Because remember a few years ago when Twinkies were like shut down and everybody freaked out about it? The whole world just went crazy. Where's my goddamn Twinkies? As soon as that happened, what happened? Give it a few months, Twinkies were back, and like the sales were exploded. Like the demand was there. So you tease like, okay, this is going to shut down. Everyone's going to be upset about it, and then you bring it back. The demand's going to grow, and then everyone wants to come back and just, start buying the comics again.
Yeah, it'll probably
I don't see it happening unless the movie division in like AT&T itself goes bankrupt, which or loses all their money or something like that. I don't see it really happening. But other things we should talk about. So what exactly were they going to do with the characters of 5G? That should be because they want to replace Batman, have Luke Fox, who hasn't been in anything to my knowledge since Detective Comics, I think.
And the Detective Teenage Run, we had Batwing showed up because Tim Drake died.
But why Luke Fox of all people? He's not really why? He's not like a big member of the Bat family. He's so he's kind of like maybe like a secondary type character in terms of that. Like, why would he become Batman? That's
I don't get it. That confused the hell out of me because wait, of all the Batman, why Luke Fox? He's not interesting. He's boring. He's not an interesting character.
Well, in fairness, I mean that's a good. You can ask why Luke Fox. Well, I think that the point is we're supposed to wait and see. They're supposed to impress us with stories.
Yeah.
But more to your point, and I think this is what you're trying. If I can just restate what I think, maybe to make your argument for you, JT, is that it's what we were talking about earlier about there's no organic development of Luke Fox becoming Batman.
Right.
He was Batwing, but we're not watching the progression. Like for many years we've watched Damian grow as Robin. For many years we got used to Tim Drake become Robin or Jason Todd. We've seen the histories, and suddenly with these Gen 5G, suddenly we're going to get, Captain Boomerang's son is going to be the Flash. What? It's like, give me a break. And same question, like, where's that coming from?
Yeah, why?
Where's that coming from? Like, there are legitimate questions here. Now, it's not, I'm not saying they can't be good characters. They might be great stories, but it does seem out of left field. And that's the thing.
Yeah,
right. So I know some people were talking about this is just like just off the blue questions. They think it's being done to fill a diversity quota, and that's just one discussion I think some people have been having. That's like the sole reason they're doing it. Instead of it having to be done naturally and organically, it's just kind of just going to be thrown like, okay, this is it, rather than, like you were saying, gradually develop it over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I think forced because we focus on Batman. My boy, John Cena Superman, which that didn't make any sense because once again, you're watching my boy John you ate him up the January 2 and now he turned Superman. Why? Why change the Superman? It's too early. You want to have John become Superman? Fine, but don't rush it. Have a John Rossi did. Have like John make the new go on. Well, trained, like a father, like they're doing in Superman family stuff before Ben took over. Have him learn how to control the power, what they're doing with mind stuff, and then let him age up. If you want to age him up, don't age him this quickly. Let him age naturally without the leader, not take it away. Like it's so stupid. Like they took away my character and they ate him for crap, and now I get a new Superman. And what's down to Clark Kent? What's down to the new Superman? Is she gonna die? Is she gonna go away? Is she gonna be released? There is no answer. And Captain Boomer's kid. Okay, what? First off, what? Second off, huh? Set up, what? What the F? That makes no sense. Captain Boomer's kid, we don't know who that kid is. How the hell can he become the Flash? Where's Wally? Where's my Wally? Why can't my Wally become the Flash?
what about like Giant Eye? Shouldn't they become the Flash or something? Like,
Yep.
You think?
or you know what? Just have Wallace become the Flash then, rather than that. You know what? I got an idea. If you're gonna do that, have him become the Flash. Bring like Jair Ira into the Teen Titans, and then you'd be fine. If Wally's gonna be Dr. Manhattan, Morbius, whatever he's gonna be, like you said, just have Wallace West. He's been around for a while. I've never really been a huge fan of his character. He's always just been kind of there to me.
Yeah.
Like he's like he was used to replace the Wally West that everybody loved, and now that the original Wally West is back, like he should have had a different name. Like he should have been called something else. That would have been fine, but they just did to try and replace the original Wally West. For whatever reason, you'd want to get rid of him, but I don't know. Considering how beloved Wally is, so I don't know, but like have him be the Flash then. So I think that would be fine. I'll take that. I'll take that over another character who really shouldn't be the Flash as the Flash. And then, like I said, you can have Giant Eye join the Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm. And the way the series ended with Wally West now becoming new Dr. Manhattan make no sense because it basically takes away all of the ones that have been my kids. Oh shit! Dan Bleeding Cool, your website is broken.
Oh, Bleeding Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I sometimes want to say Bleeding Fool, but that's like a parody site or whatever.
Yeah, it's a parody site, but actually it's funny. Yeah. Yeah, this thing I'm talking about. This thing I'm referring to. Like, see, that's the Doomsday Clock.
Right. I have Doomsday Clock. Oh, it's not with me down here, but yeah, Doomsday Clock. That was a great series, and that final panel was just that kid like becoming like the new Superman. Like Dr. Manhattan changed because of Superman. I thought that was really touching.
And that's what blew my mind about this Zero Generation garbage. Like, they took away that 21 of Junior, but then it wasn't Dr. Manhattan. Now he's evil since the union. You're like, we were the moment chair. We were Wally Well. Now we are the same. Like, what? Like, that's what blew my mind at Flash 4. They took away the great guy, now they're taking a new Dr. Manhattan. It's so stupid at so many levels.
Right. Oh, look at Dan. Look at all the images of Dan Didio. Just why is he gone? Why'd he leave? Oh, man, this is just a bombshell. Like, just a huge, like, it's so crazy to think about. Like, because I didn't, like, just yesterday, like, didn't expect this. Just expected things to go the way they were. And then just out of the blue, you're fired. Boom, gone. What? Like, he didn't even get a chance to say goodbye or anything. They didn't let him go, like, casually or anything like that. Like, hey, we're going to let you go. You have a chance to, like, get ahead of this. No, they're like, you're just gone.
Or accelerate. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I would go with either name. Accelerate or Blur. Those are good names.
Right.
I think Dan Didio deserved more respect. I think they should have, firing him abruptly like that. I think that was wrong. I mean, look, I mean, he's had a lot of successes too. I mean, I know that we've said a lot of things and we focus on things that he's done that bother us, but it's also worth noting that Dan Didio, he's taken a lot of bullets for creators. He's taking the blame.
Right.
Like, for example, you take guys like Tom King, who've got no problem throwing Didio under the bus. Or
I know, but
Didio always took the high ground in that regards. I will always give him props. He never shat on the fans. Like as much shit as like he's told, like he just kind of just rolled with it. Like he didn't like stoop down or anything like that. I will always give him props for like I said, nothing against him personally. I just think creatively he's just not suited for the part. So I mean he's married now. He can retire. I'm sure he's worth a good chunk of change. He's working at DC as like the co-publisher for all these years, but I think just like I said, nothing against him like personally in that regard. I just think from like a creative standpoint, and that's kind of the same case for like most of these comic book creators. Like you may not like their writing. Like I don't have anything personally. I just think creatively they're not very good at their job. So
here's the thing. I'm never gonna ban the person. I think he's a nice guy in real life, but it's his writing is shit. But I'll get banned as credit because do. It's almost better with Fantastic when we first started. But after my last, when the main year they went to shit. But I don't hate banning the person. He's a nice guy in real life. And if I do memes today, I do again I don't guys in there my old Spider-Man trade. Like and I do a talking today. Now when I bring in DC stuff. If I did bring DC stuff, I would just pick on Rage. But if I did talk, I would talk about a civil, like calm, collective, and not anger Rage. And like talking real life, and he's a nice guy. Like, but my main problem with Ben is more of executing writing. I felt like I'm a percent of Rage match. Like, say over Bendis, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I do want to meet him someday. But back on track. Okay.
Right, like you said, nothing personal, but I'm just saying, like creatively, his writing is not very good. Yeah. So that's the thing with a lot of these people. Some creators are a-holes about it too.
That is true.
There's some I can think of, but I won't really name here. But I'm just saying, like writing wise, it's not very good, and they should be allowed to be called out for it too.
Yeah,
that's how you improve is through criticism too. Like, hey, this is not going good. Why don't you like this? There you go.
So, that's how Scott Stein takes criticism.
Right. And I mean, some people do take it too far, like sending death threats over, like,
that's what the hell. Like,
right. That always irritated me. Like, look, you can not like. I've had some people I've like discussed stuff online. They're saying stuff. I'm like, look, at the end of the day, like you can criticize their writing all you want, but don't wish death threats on anybody. It's fictional characters, or it's that moment in Jane's talk about fictional characters.
Yep.
There's no reason to like get that angry over it. Like you can be upset like the handling of things, but like that's taking it like way too far.
Yeah.
So that's always been my stance on it.
No, I never heard of a crossover. Weird. I didn't know there was a massive over crossover.
Right.
That sounds funny. I'll probably take that eventually. But back on track. All right. Let's see. We're talking about 5G. Okay, we talk about
everything. So
yeah, we talk about my stuff. We talk about why his kid's back. We talk about super that got destroyed. We talk about 5G, kind of sort of. We talk about Captain America's kid becoming Flash. It doesn't make any sense. Wait, who's becoming the new Wonder Woman or Green Lantern?
Oh, I don't know. Like I it's some random character. Like Wonder Woman. Weren't they going to do something very different with Wonder Woman? Like, weren't they going to make her not look like an Amazon and fit and all that too? I heard something along the lines.
Well, I know that she's obviously the first generation hero. She shows up at the scene. She was in issue 750 of her own comic series. That issue, she saves Roosevelt's life in 1939, and she ushers in the age of. Well, I guess maybe that's the age of mystery, or
age of mystery thing where Gordon Hill becomes a villain, and then the GSA.
Yeah, but I don't know who's going to be the new Wonder Woman for the Age of Tomorrow for that 5th generation. I'm not really sure. I've heard rumors, but I actually don't know, and we'll have to wait and see. I don't know.
After Green Lantern, I heard 2 rumors. One of them is Teen Lantern, which is a bad idea. No, don't do Teen Lantern. That's awful. Don't do that. And the second suggestion is the Far Sector Green Lantern. Okay, I want to Green Lantern. You like Far Sector? You know what? Fine. Far Sector, for what I said, that series is actually surprisingly good. You want to make her new Green Lantern? Go for it. Sure, why not? I don't know how Jordan, how Jordan is Grant. Oh, actually, because speaking of how Jordan, we never Grant Moore is Green Lantern stuff. Grant Moore's Green Lantern stuff is so confusing. I have no idea what the hell's going on in that series. Like, I'm confused. Even though I like Grant Morrison, but holy shit, his writing is so confusing.
They've read, like...
Yeah.
Like, come on, have you read Grant Morrison Green Lantern stuff?
Have I heard? Sorry, I missed that. What?
Like, have you read Grant Morrison and Green Lantern stuff?
I have. I've got. I've read up to. Yeah. Well, yeah. I haven't started reading season 2 yet of his Green Lantern of his Green Lantern run. It's Grant Morrison is always an acquired taste. He's sort of in his own little world.
Yeah.
And I actually don't mind whenever I read Morrison, he's always in his own little world. So I actually don't even think that it doesn't even bother me all that much because he is always quirky. So I consider his Green Lantern to be sort of a fluke and an aberration. Basically, he's an outlier. But I will say though, I do feel for Green Lantern fans that are if you love the Green Lantern core and you're a fan of the Venditti run and Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns, yeah.
Morrison's run is decidedly different and he, but I like his imagination. But it is it can be a confusing read. I'm not gonna. There's some of his issues there that I have a very difficult time explaining.
Same here.
But it is what it is.
His Black Star book, I read the series and holy shit, that series was awesome. I mean, he made fun of the Bendis, he made fun of the Snyder, made fun of Tom King. It was so funny. Like it was really a good parody of DC Universe, but done right, and it was funny. Very dark, man. At the ending of Black Star issue 3, that broke me because holy shit! I mean, but issue 3, my boy John on the Black Stars, and damn, it was insane. Like, have you read Black Stars?
I love. Sorry,
Sorry, continue.
You're talking to JT or me?
JT.
What's that?
Have you read Black Stars?
I haven't read it.
Oh, Confirm? You read it?
The what?
Black Stars.
The Black Stars. It's the Green Lantern. It's Morrison's Green Lantern. After season 1, there's a 3-issue Black Star series.
No, I have not. I'm not as familiar with the Green Lantern lore as I am like the Bat Family. That's like my go-to. But I do want to get into reading a lot of Green Lantern stuff. Like I said, there's so many different issues and continuities in that. It's tough to just keep up with it all.
Yeah. And with Dan Didio fired, is Feige gonna be canceled? I heard rumor that now that he's gone, Feige gonna be like dead.
I think that's a strong possibility. I watched that it was a K-Wing who did a stream the other day. I just caught that today while I was working on some stuff, and he pointed out he was talking about some things that they wanted to do, and AT&T wasn't having any of it. So they're pretty much may possibly be pulling the plug. Again, a lot of the stuff that they were talking about was just rumors. It's not confirmed officially or anything like that until it actually happens. Because you always hear different rumors all the time, and a lot of them end up not being true.
Yeah.
Like you said, they were want to do stuff with John. They want to do stuff with the Green Lanterns and Luke Fox, Batman.
Yeah.
But they're the thing. There's some certain changes they wanted to do to certain characters. So they wanted to do again, that was all just rumors. But again, since this was Dan Didio's baby, and the fact that you're going to try and get rid of Bruce Wayne as Batman and all that other stuff all at once, it's just not going to go over well. Your sales are going to tank because the people who've been your core foundation. If you change things if you disregard your core foundation, it's just going to fall apart.
Yeah, it's gonna fall apart. It's
Like
gonna-
Rebirth, that's why Rebirth was a success, because they were bringing things back to bring in that core foundation who kind of just lost interest in the New 52. And you know what? They kept old and new fans for the early, like the first year of Rebirth was very satisfactory.
Yep.
I want to say, like it was like everything I was reading, I was enjoying, but then like it just gradually just kind of got away from that. And
Yeah, it went to hell real fast because we lost a lot of stuff. We lost basically Wally, we got the credit garbage. The old Flash, the Flash fan got destroyed. The Superman fan got destroyed. The Batman was a mess. Just going a shot in the head. New 52. Well, not New 52. Dan Didio baby would also New. Yeah, you're right. New 52. What is baby? Well, that also baby, and that crash and burned. And for DC also baby, all the crash and burned. Speaking of wait. Doc Savage show. Doc Savage show? I know about
I
this.
saw a trailer for something for it.
Huh. I'll probably check it out because that sounds cool. I did hear we all get a Sandman crossover with Lock and Key, which okay, I know it's Sandman, but that crossover sounds awesome. Lock and Key for Sandman, sign me up. If they make that crossover a Netflix show, I'll be set for life. But I think the Lock and Key Netflix show, it's good, but if you read the comic, it's vastly different. It's not extremely dark. Damn it, Discord and your bullshit. Anyways, back on track. Okay, with 5G maybe dead and buried with Dan Didio gone, the question is though, who are going to get fired? I heard rumors that you got maybe Bendis may go away. If Bendis goes away, what did maybe the Superman stuff? Can Bendis be?
I think because Bendis already has things written, they'd slowly wean him off the different books because he's already got so many books he's writing monthly, and it just has not like the sales of like you guys have said have gone down so much from the start of it. Like especially compared to where his run is at now, like how many issues into his stuff versus how much were Jurgens, Tomasi, and Gleason in their books, it's substantially lower. He has all the gimmicks on his side, and those may get some spikes, but they can't sustain.
Yeah, so. And it's been alive with a failure, and we're getting alive in Dawn, whatever the hell it is. I don't care. I'm done with Ivan. I'm done with that crap. I don't care. Can't this get canceled? We don't have to deal with this crap anymore. Please. No.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I am hopeful that things can turn around. If they had Rebirth be a success, they could always just do something like that again. Even though they should have just went with it, just rolled along with what was working instead of changing things.
Yeah.
Maybe bring other things, but maybe a few tweaks here and there just to improve things. But again, they made their choices. It's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah. My hoping, Didio gone, on 5G crash and burns. I'm hoping for 5 to happen. Number one, bring back Hope and Love back to the image. Like, stop actually all the family. Bring back the Bat family. Bring back basically my boy John or so. Retcon the Bendis stuff out of existence. Bring back my boy John. Bring back Superman Barry. And for the love of God, bring back let Connor and John meet each other. I want the two brothers to meet each other. That's the one thing I have to believe it. Rebirth gave me hope. I want my boy John meet Connor. Because they show Connor in the future, the Titan Tomorrow stuff, to have real Connor meet his older, younger brother. Why did we get that? We got Bendis came in up. Right, that's number one. Number two, bring back the Legacy. Stop destroying Legacy and giving back Wide Red back at the Flash. I'm sorry, Ben, but Wide Red is my Flash. He's a Flash for 25 years, and he will always be my Flash. Like, I know people can hate me with it if I say this, but Wide Red was my Flash for 25 years. And I hate to say, but Wide Red needs to go at the Flash. Let Tons down has decisions. Number three, honor Doomsday Clock's original ending. Because Doomsday Clock had an ending that made sense. Honor that ending like originally planned with Rebirth. Number four, go back to Rebirth's original plan. Be great, face it. Not after Metal. Metal was fantastic. After basically No Justice, the entire Rebirth one went to hell, and that made sense. And then Heroes Required haven't.
Yeah, I always say no justice is what broke that universe because it was too soon after the previous event. They should have just kind of waited a bit for it. But like I said, so many drastic changes. That was just an excuse to do drastic changes.
Yeah.
Because I was actually not minding the story itself. It's just the effect that it had
The
on
story
everything.
was fantastic. I love the story, but the
aftermath was bad. Like we lost like Green Lantern, or no, not Green Lantern. Green Arrow was a book that I was. The Green Arrow run in Rebirth was really, really good. Like it was a long-term story, but like it only went on for like 30 issues or something, and I really enjoyed that. But like I said, one of my issues too, I brought this up when I did the Teen Titans book reviews, was just there wasn't an organic transition between teams. I would have tolerated it if we actually got a scene, but you're just kind of just telling us this stuff happened.
Yeah, and the Green Arrow book went to hell and got canceled because of reasons, and we never got answered that fucking what was in the box. What was in the box? I must know what was in the box, and there was nothing. So that was a point. Plot point that went nowhere. Also, Roy Harper's now dead.
Right.
Let's kill Roy Harper. Another L killer. Wait a second. I have views on it. Holy shit! This is the thing you did. He killed Rhian Harper. Oh my God! I mean, the Harper family now dead and buried again. Roy Harper dead, and now Rhian Harper dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see
Rhian. That put my mind because you killed me, the Rhian Harper and the private justice, like I Roy Harper and the Hilton Crisis. It's right, better get Crisis and let's be together. I figured it out. I knew what the plan was. They found to kill the Harper team.
Well, you could fix a lot of this too. You can have Wally in his Morbius chair fix the different issues in the timelines to try and get like the best of everything. So, I mean, there's certain things like now that things are going to change too. Like, I mean, you brought Wally's kids finally back, so I would like it too if there was like mysterious like history that those like Giant Ira had with certain characters too. Like, you know how like when Wally came back and they had that Titans thing, and like when he made contact and like memories just flooded back to them. I actually wouldn't mind it if, say, like Giant Ira were friends with some of the Titans or some of the other characters or something like that. Because I know they wanted to do something. I remember reading something about like a Young Justice book they wanted to do. It was like Supergirl, it was Stephanie Brown, it was Miss Martian, it was Blue Beetle. I think it was Damian was on it, and I think it was supposed to be Ira West.
Yep, I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to find that. Let's see. Justice. Supergirl.
I always thought too, like if Wally's kids were there, they could like make like a little like Trinity too, or at least with one of them.
Yeah.
That
was one of the unfortunate things about the Titans storyline is they never did really. They don't have any explanation for that. Wally, anybody Wally touched could remember the past, but then that they abandoned that storyline. Then suddenly, I mean, the Titans in Rebirth started off with a lot of potential with Wally West, and boy, it sure went to garbage in a hurry.
Where the hell is it? I can't find it. It probably was a very old image from 2000. I think 2010. I think. Yeah, I don't remember.
All right, I'm trying to find because I'm gonna find it too. I know the cover. I've seen the image before. Hang on.
If you find it, try to screen share it.
Oh, I will. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, I never seen that show. I only went. Oh yeah, the 95 show. Yeah, 95 show was good. Yeah, but back on track. That Young Justice team that we put together before New 52, that sounded fantastic, sounded fun, and that never happened. Which is a damn shame because that scene was kind of fun, but New 52 messed everything up. Speaking of that missing in New 52, oh, Bunker. Wait, Bunker.
All right. I found the image, but I got a lot of weird shipping art too, so I'm gonna just kind of it's on Tumblr, so I'll just kind of do a screen share with part of it showing. Oh shoot, hang on.
Okay.
No, all right. hang on. It's on Tumblr here. Let's let this come with the earth. All right, hang on. All right. Here's the image. I'm doing a screen share.
Okay.
Okay. With this application window right here, share.
And the stream got.
There it is. That's the cover.
Yep. The
Right
all Young Justice.
Right. Oh, and Static was on there too.
Static Shock.
So I am always curious to like what would happen with this. I know there was like there was an article I saw in regards to it I read before because I was curious because somebody told me about it. I'm like, oh, this actually sounds like a kind of cool Young Justice team that we never got. So
yeah. This sounds awesome. We Ali, Damian, Supergirl, Miss Margin, Static Shock, and Blue Beetle. This sounds like a badass team. I want this team. Why do we this team in Ben Young Justice? Like why do we do with this team and put Bendis is nonsense?
Right, like this is like before New 52 though. So
Yeah.
but I think this would have been kind of cool. I'm gonna see if I can find more info on it while we're talking. So
Yeah, but that sounds awesome. That sounds fantastic. It breaks one that we lost that team for BS. That's enough charm with Dan Didio and Hitless. Speaking of Dan Didio and Hitless, that mommy Dan Didio also joined the too. He wanted to get a little bit of lost. So he wanted to kill the Superman marriage, which he did in New 52, that caused him burns. He wanted to kill Nightwing, literally. Like how couldn't you put it? Edward? Wasn't Batwoman going to be Terry Batman, but it's going to be called? Yeah. Actually, about that. Funny about that though. That Batwoman in Batman Beyond is actually not. I forget.
it's Dick Grayson's daughter in Batman Beyond currently.
Yep, it's Dick Grayson's daughter.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, I
I
can't
would
remember
that was
her
pretty
name.
cool.
What's her
I
name?
actually love that. That was fantastic. Yeah, going temporary. I'm actually on Batman Beyond the Great Series now, and that series, even though it's in the future, it's still a great series, surprisingly.
Right. I enjoyed it quite immensely. The only thing I didn't like was making Damian a villain, but that's about it. That's the only thing I would change.
Yeah.
But of course, because for me, it's just like, oh god, again, I'm so sick of this alternate evil future thing.
But the future can always change. Like the future answer, that's when Luck out of existence. Thank God. The future end with a joke of what the fuck. But trying to explain that series is a nightmare. Like I can't explain it, and I've tried to explain it. My brain really went sideways. Literally, like what? You go back in time to start the future. Oh my, what? It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you understand what's going on. All right, see you, man. Next time, bye. Yep.
Oh, why can't I find this? There was like an article on it that explained like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Damn. I will find it. I will.
It
Find
sounds like like a good idea and a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it missed opportunity. But until Jerry did not see it in leadership. Oh yeah, that did happen. I completely forgot what I brought in my mouth. Stupid it was. Vendors? Yeah, that broke me. Okay. Well, with the video gone, 5G not happening, what's the new plan with DC? I heard a rumor that Death Metal was going to read the 5G, but then Death Metal going to change the plans. Probably that to go back to Linear Gaming will be part Jewish as well, not just Arab. Yeah, that's not. Wait, what? Really? Huh. I know what that's. Interesting.
Wait, what about Damien?
Probably with that, if you go by Linear Gaming, will be part Jewish as well, not just Arab. Yeah.
Yeah, Damien's like a lot of things, so.
He's a bad guy, but yeah, you kind of. Yeah, you lost him on Frank Miller. I agree with that 100% because both Frank Miller and Ben have one thing in common. They both lost their minds.
Yeah.
Because Frank Miller went insane after Dark Knight Strikes Again, which that was a garbage series. And then Ben lost his mind after Ultimate Spider-Man. It's like later at the Jeopardy. Wait, was that the right terminology? Tom, was that the right terminology? Because both Bennett and Frank Miller, do you think they lost their minds?
I'm not Bendis and Miller. What?
Is it Bennett? Bennett is a bad guy, but yeah, he's kind of lost his mind like Frank Miller.
I'm not. I'm drawing a blank. You mean you're looking for a villain done by Frank Miller?
No, the comment said.
Aha! I found the information on that book.
Okay.
It took me long enough. I'll screen share this.
Yeah, because the comment said Bennett is a bad guy, but yeah, he kind of lost his mind like Frank Miller. Basically, like Frank Miller at that time, he lost his mind.
All right, here it is. So this was the book. Just for fun, Nick Spencer shows a glimpse of his not to be Supergirl plans. Speaking of DC, blah 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 blah. Writer Nick Spencer committed early Twitter exit for this. Sorry to hear that. Blah blah blah. Focus on Thunder Agents, what he's working on. But Spencer reported revealed DC editorial didn't like the work he was turning in. Reporting an unpublished Supergirl 62 cover. Jump to today. Action. Let's see where he says it. The Amazing Meteor would have been fun. Actually, it's way past time. I told you the plan was right. The idea for the story was pretty simple. Kara learns how to be a leader. She had, to that point, been almost exclusively used as either a solo character or in a supporting role on his team. I feel like someone wearing that S on their chest would find people looking to them for answers when things go bad. Okay, this sounds kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The villain was intended to be Luthor Brainiac hybrid clone that Jeff Johns seeded in Adventure Comics. That scene in one issue where I did half of was with Lois running into the planet offices. The original line was, "Who here knew Lex Luthor had a son?" The original hope had been to use Aqualad here too. The story beats that really stand out to me. I know I wanted to have a scene where the fight gets really hectic and Impulse runs away with Kara really calmly and sympathetically talking to her about it. Okay, Kara being a mentor. Just the two of them in the aftermath. That was supposed to be the big moment that Kara comes into her own. The entire team, except for Kara, were going to get captured, and Kara will go to Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman for advice, and from there putting together another team to rescue them. I forgot who was on that one. Black Alice, blah, 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 blah. The whole thing would climax in a launch party for the flower wrap, and the last scene was Impulse pulling Damian onto the dance floor. So.
What? That sounds cute and adorable.
That sounds good. That sounds like a good.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Right. And plus, I just think it would be funny. That whole.
Why the hell did they cancel this series to get the Bendis series? Forget the Bendis series. Give me that series.
This is like 2013 or something like this, but like this is before. Right, this is like right before they changed things, obviously. But yeah, that would have been kind of funny. I just imagine Wally's reaction to Damian dancing with his daughter would be kind of funny because he's him. So
yep. Like, that woman's so funny and adorable. I want that series. What? That series has tons of fun. Forget Bendis series. Give me that series. That series could give it John can join that team. That's
right. But that's a good way to make, because like they said, like that's a good way to showcase Kara as a leader, like leading her own Young Justice book. I think, why is she not leading a team? Like she's got an S on her chest. Like that should be that's a signal of leadership. That symbol means a lot. So, but yeah, that's actually an interesting concept that I wouldn't mind if they actually explored. But,
I would love to see that concept come back and cancel the Bendis stuff. Because Didio's gone, that means that team can come back. Like, cancel Young Justice. We want the Young Justice book, but give me Nick Spencer on that team.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Bendis' stuff really does need to be washed right back to formula. I mean, his Young Justice is absolutely horrible, and he's thrown characters together that they have pointless conversations, pointless dialogues. There's no adventure. There is no discernible plot thread in Young Justice currently. There's no discernible plot. It makes no sense. Superboy's in Skataris with War. It's so badly written. It's so bad. It's embarrassing. I mean, I can imagine if you're an AT&T corporate executive and you paid $1 million or whatever they paid. I don't know what they paid Bendis.
Probably $1 billion.
Probably. This is the garbage that he's writing. I mean,
you might as well just flushed it down the table.
Yeah, agreed. Bendis needs to be erased. Agreed.
Yeah, but I gotta go, guys.
All right.
I gotta go. I'm at my 2-hour mark. I gotta go. I'm binge watching Hunters with the wife.
Okay.
Oh,
It
all
was
right.
nice to
See you,
meet
man.
you. I subscribe to your
JT.
channel, so.
Yeah, thanks, JT. It was nice talking to you.
All right.
Yeah, Tevla, thanks so much for inviting me on. I had a blast. It was always nice talking 5G. Even if we're bitching about comics a little bit, we
Yeah.
love this. We
We
love
love
this
it,
hobby.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, we love it.
all
No,
right.
it was great. It was nice to meet you. I subscribe to your channel, and I'll look forward to checking out some of your videos.
Yep, it's good to meet you too.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
See you
Have a
later.
good night.
Anytime. Good night, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So what else can we mention on this thing?
Yeah, what can we talk about?
Okay.
Let's
Trying
see.
to think. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to do some fucking homework later. Ugh.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit. Let's see. We talked about Daniel getting fired, kind of, sort of. We got about 5G stuff. We talk about the ramifications of Daniel getting fired, or we kind of went
I
off
feel like we
topic?
kind of have like pretty much like. I feel like we talked on about pretty much every aspect of it.
Yeah, we kind of did.
Some of the changes that we're gonna do to some of the characters. Do we bring that up?
I think we kind of did, but we kind of went off topic and went all over the place.
Yeah, like this is the, we really went off topic. We went
Yeah.
and talked about everything.
Yeah, we went off topic instead of talking about the core factor or good to plant. Oops.
I was reading the comments. I thought that said, but dildo hates fun, but it says
Yeah, well, indeed. Yeah.
so.
Yeah, get rid of the book you made that not the one. I agree. Banners need to go away.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah, my bad.
he can go and just write his own stuff, and if he, I'm like, you know what, go write your independent stuff, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't gotta work.
Independent stuff is probably better. Right.
But yeah,
Yeah. Your mainstream book not so much.
I'm trying to think of anything else.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about pretty much every aspect. We talked about the Young Justice stuff. Talked about every different comic book that's out.
We talked about reviving stuff. We talked
Stuff
about
we want to see. Obviously, we think I think 5G. Like I said, it's all rumors at this point. Pretty much almost a given. But with Didio gone, I think it's done. I
think it's gonna be buried and like erased.
Right, AT&T just probably put their foot. That's why he got let go. There's no. If this was really still going through, there's no reason he still wouldn't be on.
Yeah, like I think the Age of Mystery, Age of Crisis, all that stuff. I probably got kind of resistant because I think there was a plan with Death Metal. But I think Death Metal is still gonna happen. That's gonna start, baby, and that series could be fantastic. So by the end Death Metal, that will fix the timeline. That will fix Wild West. Hopefully they'll bring my wallet back with the family. Bring back the Superman family and let Kevin Bennett out of Resistance. Get rid of him. I'm sorry, Bennett's fans, but his stuff has been garbage. Let him go away. Or let it was one book. Let him write Naomi and get that character away from everything else. Naomi, it always said it's just a mess.
Exactly.
Yeah. But other than that, Another is gone, so let's hope for the future. And 5G stuff, I think that's dead and buried, but we'll take away Sharon's.
Yep. So hopefully,
should we just end it, give it our outros?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's been a while since our last live stream chat that I showed up on, but this was fun. Yeah, I'm kind of getting back into the groove of things a bit. I posted a lot of videos yesterday. I'm trying to push myself a bit more now. They kind of once I get through the next 2 months or so, once I get through April and May comes around, I will have I'll be free. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, but yeah, this is fun. Thanks for having me on. Like I said, it's fun talking comic books and DC stuff and just doing live streams in general with a lot of people. I really enjoy. Really the past month or so, I've kind of gotten really back into it a little bit more. It's like that spark is starting to come back again, and I'm ready to put out more content with myself. So
actually, we're about to finish. I'm sorry that
hi Alex. We pretty much. You can go back and watch the whole thing, but we've been talking for
2 hours.
2 hours.
8 minutes.
Yeah, we've been talking for quite a while now.
Yep. So we're enjoying the kind of party and by each kind. Although I'm gonna go through with these comics, I'm hoping the future is great. But calm down.
Okay, you know what? You can. I'll talk for a second. You just
Okay.
or something. Okay, cool. So as Tevye was saying, thanks for everyone joining along with this live stream. This has been a lot of fun. Tevye, I see, is almost at 1,000 subs, so I'm really proud of you there. I plan on doing my first live stream when I hit 100 subs. It will be manga/anime thing. That's pretty cool. Tell him 29. Again, I had fun doing this thing. I pretty much stayed off camera. I probably could have just went on camera. See, here I am.
Yep. Hello.
Wow, hey, how's it going? But yeah, this was fun to do. This was fun to do. We'll have to do more DC related live streams, but we'll have to have like a topic about it too. Like we can always talk about other stuff too. Which today's Saturday. I missed My Hero Academia. I gotta watch that.
Yep.
So yep. So if anyone wants to check out my stuff, youtube.com/JTisReborn. I got stuff on here too. I cover some DC stuff. I cover a bit of everything, pretty much like movies or shows in that all regards. So yeah, I did a couple DC videos lately, so you can check those out. But yeah, if you're sub to Chevia, you can check out my channel. And yeah, that's what's up.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, Tommy.
Anytime, man. And you can follow me on by my page on Twitter. I'll do my comic boom on his channel. But instead, they can join on the new fired and party. So the next gun on maybe today Marvel, maybe we'll pop in something. We'll join it and see you guys next time. See ya.
All right.
Also find Gabachu on Twitter and follow my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter too at Sean JT King.
Yep, and you can follow me. You can put your Twitter and Google right now. You can follow me on Void TV. Yeah, but Void TV is a backup channel in case YouTube out with my clouds and birds. Again, backup channel. I'll explain that later. And enjoy it, and see you guys next time. Next gun on maybe 5G Part 2 or Marvel.
Right, with more news drops.
Yeah, more news though. Probably do Part 2. Anyways, see you guys. Bye.
Bye bye.